Good evening, I'm Alessio, and tonight we're unpacking a pivotal shift at the heart of the global AI infrastructure race. How companies like Vast Data and NSCALE are moving from concept to execution, and what that means for investors, creators, and the technology ecosystem at large. It begins with Vast Data's announcement that its AI operating system and storage architecture will power NSCALE's Global AI Fabric initiative, a network of next-gen data centers built for massive GPU workloads and enterprise AI. Vast Data NSCALE aims to deploy up to 300,000 NVIDIA Grace/Blackwell GPUs across Europe and North America, while Vast provides the data layer and software stack to unlock that scale. Vast Data. This isn't just about more compute, it's about a paradigm shift in infrastructure. Vertically integrated stacks, purpose-built AI data centers, renewable energy power, sovereign-ready cloud fabrics. According to Vast's playbook, they're delivering an OS4 agentic AI that unifies storage, database, and compute at exascale. Vast Data. For NSCALE, that means building from the ground up, but building faster, at lower cost, and with global reach. Data center dynamics. The financial implications? Highly material. When infrastructure becomes a platform, when you tilt from selling compute to enabling AI at scale, you unlock a different set of economics. Lower TCO, higher utilization, recurring revenue, but only if the stack is optimized, efficient, and differentiated. Vast claims their OS delivers over 50% lower TCO for demanding AI workloads. Vast Data. For investors, this means infrastructure plays now hinge on execution. Data center build-out, energy cost control, chip supply, cooling, and latency. For creators, it means the story is more than AI chips everywhere. It's about data pipelines, regional sovereignty, operational efficiency, and global competition for AI infrastructure. Vast and NSCALE together illustrate how infrastructure is no longer the backstage, it's front stage for competitive differentiation. As one NSCALE executive put it, the future of AI will not be defined by raw compute alone, but by the strength of the foundations we build. So RCEsecurity.com. That quote matters. It signals a shift in investor focus, from simply buying compute or GPUs to buying the invisible layers that enable utilization, storage systems, interconnects, software orchestration, data services. Firms that ignore the data foundation layer risk missing the real bottleneck. This is the opportunity that Vast and NSCALE are chasing, and the risk other players may face. Execution remains the biggest question. Building high-scale AI data centers is capital-intensive. Energy consumption, chip supply, cooling demand, regulatory approvals, skilled workforce, supply chain logistics, all these factors can trip up even the best-funded ventures. For instance, NSCALE's promise of 300,000 GPUs globally is stunning, but deployment timing, client uptake, and utilization rates are yet to fully materialize. Vast Data. From a risk management standpoint, investors and analysts should track several key metrics: the speed of capacity deployment, power cost per kilowatt-hour, renewal contracts, utilization rates, customer mix, enterprise versus hyperscaler, margin expansion, and software stack monetization. With NSCALE and Vast, the stack is as important as the hardware, and arguably even more so. Another angle: regional sovereignty and regulation. In EU/UK markets, there is increasing emphasis on data localization, energy efficiency, environmental standards, and digital sovereignty. NSCALE's European data center strategy ties into that trend. For Vast, whose products emphasize global namespace, cross-region access, and seamless data flows, this regulatory dynamic becomes an enabler rather than a constraint. NSCALE.com. From the vantage of a creator or storyteller, you can frame this story in multiple chapters. The compute wars, GPUs, scale; the data wars, storage, pipeline, orchestration; the sovereignty wars, regional build-outs, regulation; and the business model wars, infrastructure as a service versus hardware sale. Vast and NSCALE appear to be playing across all these fronts simultaneously, and that makes this story rich terrain. For a practical takeaway, if you're covering tech infrastructure and you see a partner announcement like Vast plus NSCALE, ask, who controls the stack? Who controls the data layer? Who controls the GPU layer? And how do they monetize it? Because in the new AI economy, the who owns the rails question matters as much, or more, than who owns the transistor. Let's also consider competitive risk. If VAST/NSCALE define the fabric for AI infrastructure, what happens to legacy hyperscalers, traditional cloud providers, or regional data center operators who don't have the same vertical integration? Will they face margin compression? Will they be forced to up investment? The infrastructure escalation could create winners and losers at scale. So as we look ahead, here are key signals to monitor. 1. Will NSCALE and VAST announce major customer wins or data center deployments in 2026? 2. What partnerships or chip supply commitments are disclosed, e.g., how many NVIDIA GB300/Blackwell units, at what cost? 3. How power cost per watt evolves in these new facilities. Renewables matter. 4. How utilization metrics trend. Are these facilities booked or idle lodging hardware? 5. Whether software revenue from data planes, orchestration, and AI services begins to show up in public metrics. In my view, we are witnessing a strategic inflection point in infrastructure. The era where GPUs ruled alone is giving way to an era where data, software, and cloud fabric are equally critical. VAST plus NSCALE are making that transition visible. For you, the audience, whether investor, creator, or analyst, it means your lens needs to shift. Don't just ask, how many GPUs? Ask, how well are they fed with data? And, how well is the stack adapted to deliver value? To wrap up, the partnership between VAST Data and NSCALE isn't just another press release, it's a statement of intent about the next wave of AI infrastructure. It's about building from the ground up, at scale, with sustainability, efficiency, and global reach in mind. And for markets, it's about realizing the value chain shift from hardware to platform. We're moving beyond hyperbole and into architecture. And for the first movers in this space, that could define the next decade of technology leadership. I'm Alessio, and that's your business and finance briefing for tonight. Stay aware, stay informed, and remember, in AI infrastructure, data is the new power grid.